Yo, what's up, dudes? Well, my internet's out, so I figured it would be a good time to just kind of do an update on what's been going on with me for the past, you know, couple of months. I get on these kicks, right, where I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna upload. Definitely gonna upload on a very regular basis. That's going to be a thing that I'm going to 100% do. And I make a bunch of promises to you guys. And then, I just don't really follow through with them. And I've been kind of thinking on it lately, like a little bit, right? On like why, like what it is that I need to do. And I feel like, it's kind of wild that like I was very, I don't know. I think like the problem that I've been having in general and just life, and maybe like let me know if you feel the same, is just I don't feel as motivated to like just do things anymore. I don't even think it's necessarily like burnout or anything along those lines. I think it's just something something changed like in life in general, and I don't necessarily know what it is. um did I make two of these? Oh, unfortunate. um one of the one of the big things that I've always kind of ran into and suffered with, right, is like I will have ideas. Um I'll be like, man, this thing that I want to do is going to be really great, especially when it comes to like content creation, right? Like my chat GPT workout thing probably would pop off, right? And there's a lot of times where I'm like, man, I need to go do this. I need to get this done. And, this is going to be really good. And then, like, I get to the point where I'm going to do it. And then I'm just like, nah, I'm just not. I'm just not doing this today. And then the problem is, and this is probably just a discipline thing, right? Mostly because, well, let's be real, like, content creation's not my job. It's never been my job. Um, would have been cool if it was, but I self sabotage myself a lot. But that's a whole other topic. Oh, there's is that a raptor or is that one of those spitty boys? But the thing is, right, is it's hard, right? It's hard to get motivated to get out and do things because everything just kind of feels like it sucks. And I think one of the biggest problems that I have, right, is that I'm coming from, like, my channel used to be big, right? And so this might be a whole lot of copium. This might be just like kind of a look into the the mindset, and it's probably a defeatist mindset. One of the big things that I've always felt like I can do well is like I know why I'm not necessarily doing the things that I'm doing. It's just I don't know how to change it. You know what I mean? Like I know that I need to do these things, but I just don't know how to get them done. And like I'll sit here like today, right? My internet was out all day long. I just kind of sat here all day bored. Now, what I should have done is I should have went out to the garage. Um, I had talked a big game about making knives and stuff like that. And where did that go? I cleaned up my belt sander. I have the blank for a knife. And then what? And like I'll come up with some cope and I'll be like, "Oh, well, the reason is because well, it got cold outside and then winter came And, and once spring comes around, I'm definitely going to do it. I'm definitely 100%. This is really nice area. Um, I decided to fire up Arc again because I recently got a new computer upgrade. And look at playing this on like the 4090, like you can actually run Arc, which is kind of wild. I bet I still can't run Path of Exile at max, but oh, what do we got here? Oh, a stuck Carabinus. Okay. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, copium. So, like, I'll come up with a whole bunch of, cope on why I didn't do anything, and, oh, I'm definitely next week, right? And I need to find a good way to get out of the next week rut. I'll come up with a ton of excuses and things like that. I don't even know what my excuse was today. I like literally just kind of like I just sat here for a while and like I just sat here in my chair doing absolutely nothing. And yeah, it was not great. Like I could be doing any other number of things to further myself, and I need to. I've my health has not been great. Um my my motivation has been very low. Um and I think one of the things with like content creation in general and streaming and stuff like that that kind of is rough is, and this goes back to what I was saying probably like, a couple of minutes ago that I was going to, elaborate on, is that going from having a decent sized channel to starting over again is kind of rough mentally, you know? It's like, I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, I could hit go live right now. But there's only going to be like 3 or 4 people. Most of the homies, while I appreciate it, they have me on another tab. And it's just me, just chilling, talking to myself. Don't get me wrong. Usually, I take that back. Usually I get like 9 people, 9 to 10 people whenever I'm playing. And it doesn't really matter what I'm playing. Shinigami will show up. Nazrin will show up. Evan, the homies, Reba will show up, stuff like that. But I'm not consistent either, and I think that's always been a really big problem of mine is just consistency, and just it's rough because I know that I need to be more consistent, but again, like mentally, you'll run into the problem of like, yeah, I could go live, but what's the point? I guess I need to just focus more on, instead of being like, oh, well, what's the point? Be like, well, I need to be there. I need to be there for the homies. I need to be there for the Rivas, for the Shinigamis, for the Nazarins, for the Evans, stuff like that. And kind of, it's tough. Again, to kind of build back I what I need to build back. And so I don't know where I was going with that, but like it is tough to start over again. And I was actually thinking about this earlier. Like it was just kind of while I was cooking my mini corn dogs here. I was thinking like, you know, what if you could just start over somewhere else? I mean, I feel like everybody has had that thought, right? Of just like just literally starting over in life in general. Um, Now, kudos to the people that could do it. I obviously have too much stuff and things. Uh oh, uh oh, uh oh. Oh, get back here. What did it even steal? Calm down. I gotta. Oh, did it fall into the ground? Oh man, it took my stuff, huh? Took my stuff and fell into the ground. Classic Ark Survival Evolved. Good job. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, good on the people that can, um, they can just kind of start over, go do whatever. Good on them. I obviously can't do that. Maybe if it were just me, I would try to do that, but I can't. And one of the things, especially when it comes to YouTube and like Twitch and stuff like that, right? Is one, if you try to start over on a channel, um, you have to redo the algorithm. Like you have to re-go through relearning or refixing the algorithm. Um, you gotta fix all your stuff. Now, I feel like maybe sometimes it's easier the second time through because I mean, if you think about it, right? Like you kind of know what worked the first time. You've got a style down, um, and you can kind of go from there. Now, I will say that I don't think it's like the end of the world to start over. As long as you can get into like a good niche. The problem is that you know YouTube is very like right place, right time type of deal. And so you just got to be lucky. And it's rough if like if your channel dies because well now you've got to be lucky again. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of run into a lot is that instead of thinking about the future, I think about the past, and it's one of those things where it's like you need to move forward and stuff like that, and it's kind of tough for me sometimes. Um, cooking pot, let's go. All right, but that's kind of one of the things that like I've been just suffering from, and I don't know. The other thing too that I think is a big problem for me is I don't know what I want to do. Like I don't think I ever really want to do video game content again. Like I don't think that video game content is I play too many games now to really want to do video game content because the problem with video game content is that you're kind of stuck playing one game, right? Like it's real hard unless you are a channel that's dedicated to playing a bunch of games and like testing a bunch of games out, like an FG 3000 type of deal. Unless you're in that like try everything variety style and you kind of make it while doing that, like it's real hard. Like I'll be real, like when I quit FGO, that was literally the death of my channel. Now, I picked up people from, Azure Lane. I picked up people when I was playing, Epic 7. People transitioned. Some people left. Some people, joined. And things like that. But, like, my channel never recovered after I quit FGO. And the reason is because a lot of people um, came to my channel for FGO. And, I think that is really the biggest detriment, the downside of being a gaming content creator. Now, it's like if you become like just a React Andy or, a drama channel or even just like a real life channel of people just, just doing real life stuff. just in general, I think it's a lot easier to transition to other stuff because people will then, you know, the people are there. Oh shit, that's raptors over there. I can't fight those yet. Um, People will be there for you and your personality, whereas like when it comes to games, I feel like most of the time people are there for the game. You know, they want to see you play the game. They want to talk about the game. And if you're not talking about the game, they're not interested in what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I do feel like it's a little bit different for certain games. Like, I feel like if you are an ARPG enjoyer, it's easier to play other ARPGs because, like, let's be real, most ARPG players will play every ARPG that exists. Mostly because you play an ARPG for 2 weeks and then you go play another ARPG for 2 weeks and then you cycle through ARPGs. You know, it's the same. It's the thing with like Lost Ark right now, where like a whole bunch of PoE players are playing Lost Ark, and then once the new PoE league comes out, they'll go back to playing PoE, and then they'll just rotate from there. But I think that it's not always very easy to do that in certain. Uh-oh. How many are there? Just the two? Okay, I'm good. I don't think it's very easy as a gaming content creator to really, you know, be outside of your niche, and so it's tough. And content creation, especially anymore, is kind of brutal. And like I think a lot of people forget that like um when we were like when a lot of people popped off, right? It was during COVID when everybody was just kind of stuck in their house. They couldn't really do anything. Like that it was what it was, man. Like you were stuck. And I think that a lot of people just don't really get that. You know, it's not as easy as it was. Um Times change, people want different things from content, and you're always playing catch up. So it's definitely tough, and I just don't know really what I want to do. Um, but I know that whatever it is, like it needs to be something that I enjoy. And I think the big thing is, and like I really apologize to some people because I don't necessarily feel like I am, keeping up with the quality, um, or like the regularity or anything like that I used to. Somebody came into chat the other night and was like, man, you look burnt out. You look like you're not having fun, and like that's not true. Like I definitely am, and so I was, hold on. This is a cooking pot. How can I not cook? Oh, okay. There's foods. Okay, cooked prime meat. Holy, that's a whole lot of extra food. So none of this was. So this thing was kind of useless. Unfortunate. Um, they said that I looked and sounded burnt out, and I looked like I wasn't having fun, and things like that. And I think it's kind of tough because like I definitely am, and I don't want it to feel like it's weird because it definitely does feel like sometimes like I'm not, and um I don't want that to be. Wait, hold on. How do I turn this light fire? There we go. I don't know what I was going to say. Like, I don't want that to come across, and it's difficult because while I am playing things and while I am having fun, you know, it is what it is. You know, so I think I need to figure out what it is that I want to do. I also need to figure out how to stay on track with things. You know, like I was saying, it's hard. It's like I have a bunch of things that I want to do, but then I just don't. You know, it's like literally, right now, just hitting the record button and talking about stuff. Like, how hard is that? But I haven't done it in 2 months. Why? Like, do I have nothing to talk about? Well, no, that's not true because I've got plenty of things to talk about. I don't know why. And I think that's like the biggest thing that I've got to figure out, like why it is that I'm not just hitting record and just talking. Because I mean, let's be real, that's what I've always been kind of good at is people talking, and I don't know. I don't know. Like, if you've got any good ideas on how to like keep on, on track and like make sure that like you get things done and stuff like that, I would be excited to hear about it. I've been trying to utilize AI more. I recently got stable diffusion, which let me tell you what, man, that can create some nightmare fuel real fast. So I've been playing around with that, and that's been kind of cool. Um, but again, like I don't know what I want to do with it, type of deal. I've got to figure out where I'm going and actually stick to it. Like I think that's the biggest thing for me is just sticking to something and building habits again to offset my bad habits of just sleeping all day when I don't have anything to do. Um, and getting in better shape just in general. It's getting nice out, kind of. Dude, Ohio's crazy, man. Like one day it's like, oh, 72. The next day it's like 35 again. And like it'll dip down, it'll snow, and then settle at 35. Ohio's crazy, dude. I don't get it. But, anyways, I'm gonna play some more Ark. It's late. I might go to sleep early so that I'm not super tired tomorrow. Um, we'll upload this when we upload this. But I just wanted to stop in and say, hey, hope you guys have all been doing good. Thanks for sticking with the channel, even though I don't upload anything. And I promise that I will do better. All right, dudes. I'll talk to you later. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.